Hey, what's up guys? Today we're going to be doing an unboxing slash build slash review of the Real Grade Force Impulse Gundam. So just as a little background, I actually don't like real grade kits, mostly because they have a lot of detail, but their parts are a lot smaller and I have kind of big hands, so it's hard to work with. Not to mention, my first real grade kit was actually the Real Grade Sinanju, and that kit did not really go well. So without further ado, let's go ahead and unbox this thing. Opening it up, we have the manual, of course. Beam saber effect parts. They look kind of distorted already. Here is the A runner. We have a quite narrow V fin. Some hand parts over here. It looks like it doesn't have adjustable fingers. We have the swappable hands for this. Parts for the shield. Parts for, I believe, the cockpit. Here's some skirt under armor parts. I kind of like this blue. It's like a dull light blue with a little bit of gray mixed into it. In the next pack, we get two E runners here. I am not sure what these could be except for ankle armor right here. Maybe above the knee right here for the thigh. This looks like it's part of the strike pack. This molding technique right here looks pretty strange. I feel like they could have just put it sideways and it would have been fine, but I don't know. They're trying to innovate, I guess. You get another one right here. More parts for the strike pack. These look like parts for the feet. Maybe for the body. I'd have to look at the picture again. Yeah, these look like parts for the abdomen. Parts for the shield. Got some more parts for the body right here. Maybe for the backpack. And here we get some more strike pack parts. These look like parts for the torso. Not sure what this is. Maybe part of the head. We got some parts for the legs here. Parts for the joints that put them together. Some more hand parts here. Man, it's been a while since I built a real grade. You can see right here that it has a little dagger. That's pretty cool. Got some armor parts here. Leg armor. We'll probably see another one of these runners. Here is a beam saber handle. Knee armor maybe right here. Got some arm armor. Looks like a repeat of the leg inner frame. More hand parts, more joint parts, leg parts, etc., etc. And here is, ooh, here we've seen this part already with the leg armor, beam saber handle and stuff. But on this side, we get the armor for the head. We get the armor for the strike pack. We get some more shield parts. Here's the face armor. This is probably for the crotch area and the back armor. And here we get our little pilot figure. Okay, so we get 1, 2, 6, 7, 11, 12, 13 runners, including the beam saber handles. Let's go ahead and build this. Before I do that, I'm actually going to organize them in these little file organizers I have, just to keep them organized so I know where each runner is. I got these for probably like $5 each off Office Depot. They work pretty well for smaller kits. Kits with bigger runners like the PGXE I did, they didn't really fit that well in them. Let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to try to build this as quick as I can. I'm kind of pressed on time, so this will probably be done in parts. And I'm not going to worry too much about my nub marks for this build. Just going to try to work quickly. And as we go through each part and I complete each limb, I'm going to go ahead and go over the articulation as well. That way you can see that in real time. Right now I'm just using a basic 2-cut method where I cut it from the runner, then I cut it as close as I can with another set of single bladed nippers. If I do see something that stands out way too much, I'll go ahead and pass over it with the hobby knife. For example, this part, I don't like how there are some residual nub marks on it, so I'm going to go ahead and trim those off with a knife. There we go. So this part already looks like it was one of those multiple parts molded into one piece. And it looks like we have most of our cockpit already. Here we go. We can see that hinge opens. This actually bends downward like that. I'm also not a big fan of undergated parts, so these I will have to tackle with the hobby knife. Awesome, and there we get most of our core fighter. Well, actually it's called a core splendor. So the wings go in and out just like that. Pretty cool. And the cockpit, as well as this, it can bend down into here. This is weird. I've never speed built a Gundam kit before. Okay, and here it looks like we have two fins on top. I don't know if I should call them fins or not. The proper term, like wings? They're not propellers for sure. And there we go, we got those in, and those can fold in just like that. So we still get this complete compact little package right here. I will note it feels way sturdier than the core fighter that we get on the RX-78 kits. And it looks like we just need two missiles. We can attach them to the wings, just like so. And I believe that is our finished core Splendor. So I don't know if the missiles are supposed to stay on when it folds up, but here's what it looks like anyways. So the rest for this is just landing gear. I'm gonna go ahead and hold off on that for now and get started on the chest unit. This one also has some movable parts here, and I'm gonna go ahead and trim up these areas with the hobby knife once again. See, parts like this are really tiny for me, and I don't like dealing with them. The plastic on this kit actually feels pretty good. It doesn't feel brittle or anything, which is good, and it's pretty soft to cut. Okay, this real grade is leaving a good impression so far. You know what, enough talking, I'm just gonna shut up and build so I can get this done quicker. Okay, so here with the arms, we get the shoulder armor. It can go up just a little bit. These pieces on both the back and the front can turn up as well. I believe that is so that it can match with that top part of the shoulder armor. With the arm itself, we do get 360 degrees of rotation, a full bend here. We get rotation at the forearm, which is pretty new, and we get rotation at the hands. There's really not much room to position the wrist. It looks like it's pretty locked in there on the ball joint. And regarding hands, we get these close fist ones, I believe one to hold a weapon, and open hand ones. I'll show those all at the extra parts list at the end of this. The eyepiece for this kit is completely clear, so you could definitely do some custom LED work if you wanted to. Even on the sticker sheet, they have separate stickers to where you can do one that covers the entire eye section, one that has black but clear in the middle, and with that you can also put in these two separate green foil stickers. And here we have the completed beam rifle. This handle will swivel back and forth. The scope will swivel back and forth. I kind of expected there to be a clear part with a sticker for the camera, but it looks like there isn't one. And on this side, we do get a flip out tab that is to attach it to the back of the skirt armor. Looks like there's also a hole in the handle here for the hand to grip it. So that is the shield design. I think it's a pretty cool design. I always love when shields kind of have that exploded form, similar to the MG Unicorn. This one does seem a little bit tougher to slide out though, which could be a good or bad thing depending on how often you are posing it. So it opens up like that, and then you do get these two tabs that you can pull out. I'm not sure what these mounting points are for, but I'm sure we'll get a look at that later on. On the back side of the shield, we do get this part, which looks like it plugs into the arm connector right there. And there's also a handle to grab onto with the holding hands. Okay, so we've got all these parts now. The manual actually has a strange transformation for this kit, and let me go ahead and show you that. Okay, and that is our transformation. Very strange. To be honest, I didn't watch Gundam Seed yet, so I don't know what this is all about, but it looks promising. Very interesting. There's also a mount you can add right here so that you can mount it just as this design. Also, going back to the core Splendor, there's a hole on the bottom that you can mount with the action base. And there we have the legs for the kit. Let's go over articulation. As you can see, we get a pretty decent bend. With it, the knee does kind of pop out a little bit, which is pretty cool. At the ankle, we get a little bit of twist, but that is stopped by the ankle armor. We get a little bit of forward and back motion. And at the toe, we get quite an amount of bend right there. It goes pretty much all the way down. I believe that has to do with part of the transformation for this kit. On the back of the calf, we do have a thruster here that we can rotate up and down as well. And the ankle armor does rotate just a little bit. Okay, so now we have the leg and waist units done. Just to go over the waist articulation, there is a little bit of swivel from side to side, not too much. On the front skirt armor, it can go up about 90 degrees. It does have some rotation side to side, as we can see here. Actually, it can go about 180 degrees. With that armor, that means the leg is limited to going about 90 degrees. The back skirt armor goes up not quite 90 degrees, and with that, the leg is also limited there. The side skirt armor can do a full 360 degree turn, and it goes up about this much. One thing to note about the side skirt armor is it does look like these are pockets for the beam saber handle. Either that or the daggers. I'm not sure which one yet. I haven't looked that far into the manual. And of course, just like the upper half of the torso, we do get a transformation with the lower half. Let me go ahead and show you guys. I guess that's it. I thought there was more to it, but that's all the manual shows for now. Okay, I flip forward in the manual. It looks like you can take the core splendor and actually attach it in here. Let me figure that out real quick. And this red tab here locks the front little fins of the cockpit, which is pretty cool, so it doesn't slide out. Then with that attached, we can fold this down right over there. And from here, this is actually where we can attach the torso. And that is not bad looking at all. It just seems so small compared to a master grade. And just to show you that one feature on the beam rifle, I will pop out the tab. It's still got the hand attached, and you can slide it into this back right here, and it holds pretty sturdily in place. And lastly, we have the silhouette flyer / force silhouette to build. Okay, so this is the silhouette flyer. Pretty simple. Looks like the only moving part on here is this back part that does just extend out. Okay, so this part right here is pretty tough to fit onto the hinge inside there. I'm not sure the best way to put it on. All I know is you have to be kind of careful not to snap off the hinge. And there we have our force silhouette. And we can take the silhouette flyer, pull out this back part, and pop it in right there. This is the complete force silhouette. And since this is the last part of the kit, that means we can also lift these beam saber handles up. Now going over the articulation for the force silhouette, we do have two beam saber handles here. These can rotate up and down and move out a little bit. Beam saber handles can be taken out pretty easily. And of course they have a spot for the effect part. These two larger wings here, they can rotate up and down. They're on a small ball hinge, so they have a little bit of up and down motion as well, just like that. And they can fold inwards like that. Here's what it looks like with them folded in. These bottom wings here can rotate forward and back. They do have a little bit more motion on that ball joint than these top wings here. However, they do get limited by that top part right there. On the back, we do have two thrusters. These do have a small amount of posability, but that's about it. And as I showed you earlier, on the side of the wings, we do have this little hatch. Kind of hard to open, but once you do, it reveals another small thruster inside. Go ahead, take the torso and the legs and put them back together. Then lastly, Okay, in terms of extra parts, we do get some more replaceable hands. Along with the closed fists, we get 2 sets of holding hands. So these are interesting. One of them has that tab in the middle that you can see there, and the other set doesn't have a tab. And we also get a set of open hands. There's some pretty nice detail on these. We get our 2 beam saber effect parts. I showed you this earlier, but we do get the 2 missile pods for the core splendor, and we get 2 of these foldable daggers. These fold out like so. They have a slot in the middle so that you can put them in the holding hands. There's actually a left hand and a right hand dagger. That way they properly match up with the tabs on the hands. And lastly, we get our pilot figure, Shin Asuka. And so there we have the unboxing, the build, and the review of the kit. Well, mini review. Overall, it took about 4 hours to build and 3 hours just for the stickers. There's a lot of stickers on this kit. Overall, I'm very impressed with this. Like I said, it's my second real grade. There's a lot more detail than I remember. This one is definitely way more stable than the RG Sinanju that I built. Ideally, when you're posing it, you want to use an action base 5. I don't have one of those. This is all I have right now. So it is a little bit unstable on this action base. I'm just sad because that means I have to buy more real grade kits. But I mean, this one comes in under $30, so that's a really good deal for what you're getting. A lot of detail, a lot of posability, and a good amount of gimmicks. So that's it for the video. Hope you guys liked it. If you like this style of video, let me know down below so that I can do more of them. Probably only for real grade and high grade kits because they're quicker to build. And if you want to look forward to more Gunpla content in general, then go ahead and give me a subscribe. That way you stay notified with all the exciting releases we got coming up in the Gunpla community. I'm trying to hop on as many of those kits as I can and get some unboxings and reviews done. That way I can help you guys decide whether or not it's worth purchasing them. Anyways, guys, as usual, have a good rest of the day and start building.